Hi, sewing friends. On behalf of uncommonthread.com, I'd like to thank you for downloading our video. This is a video about Sulky Stabilizers. My name is Michelle Umloff, and I am a certified Sulky teacher, and I am the owner of Sew Simplified. Stabilizers are an invaluable tool for all of your sewing, embroidery, and crafting projects. Stabilizers are not just for machine embroidery. Stabilizers are a tool to help you resolve problems you might have when working with fabrics and many other textiles. There are a variety of uses for stabilizers, especially when it comes to creative machine arts and crafts. Stabilizers can help you take your project from point A to point B. Sulky stabilizers are packaged in very beautiful colored labels that have detailed instructions on the back side. The labels are also color coded, and there is a symbol to help you understand what type of stabilizer you have in your hand. The rolls are packaged in a clamshell packaging that is designed to help store, protect, and dispense the stabilizer. There are 4 types of stabilizer: cutaway, tearaway, wash away, and heat away. And in general, you're either going to use them on the back side of your fabric or on the top side of your fabric. In general, you would want to match up a cutaway stabilizer with knit fabrics, tearaway stabilizers with woven fabrics. Then you could consider using a wash-away stabilizer when you don't want to have a stabilizer that is left behind. And you could also use a heat-away stabilizer in instances where you cannot get your fabric wet. All 4 types of stabilizers can be used as a backing. So let's take a look at those 4 types of stabilizer. The cutaway stabilizers include 5 different stabilizers, and I've written notes here about whether or not it's fusible or it's available in black and white. Now these stabilizers, some of them can be removed simply by cutting them away. Others are fusible and are therefore permanent. But the soft and sheer extra stabilizer, although it is a fusible stabilizer, if you warm it up again, you're able to cut away the excess stabilizer. When cutting away the excess stabilizer, you want to stagger the layers if you're using layers. So for instance, if you have at least 2 layers of stabilizer behind your project and you want to remove the stabilizer, what you would want to do is to have the layer that's closest to the fabric a little shorter, closer to the design or whatever it is that you're working on. And then the next layer should be a little longer than that. In fact, it's a really great idea to use pinking shears if you have them, and this eliminates bulk. It doesn't say scream at you like, I have stabilizer behind me. The Sulky tearaway stabilizers, there are 4 of them, and I have the notes written down here. When removing a tearaway stabilizer, you want to be sure to support your stitches with your fingers as you tear away the stabilizer. Tear easy and totally stable are the easiest to remove. But for these, it's often recommended that if you tear away the stabilizer, if you have layers, you want to tear them away in 2 different directions. So from left to right for one layer, the second layer from top to bottom. There are 6 different wash-away stabilizers, and I find these to be incredibly versatile. There are so many things that you can do with them. There are probably so many things that I don't know that you can do with them. But in order to remove this stabilizer, the fabric or textile does have to get wet. Now, this Sulky Solvy is the lightest weight wash-away stabilizer, and you can pretty much pull that away, and if you need to, you can use a damp Q-tip to remove the excess of it. The other ones are a little bit thicker, and the best way to remove the stabilizer, I like to tear away or cut away as much of it as possible, and then I never really submerge it in my sink or put it in the laundry to remove that stabilizer. That could cause some problems because some of the stabilizer really is, it gets really um, thick and sticky and creates a huge mess. So you don't want that to get into your pipes. So what I do is I use a bucket, I fill it up with water, I agitate the project, and then I throw the bucket full of water over one of my plants or something like that, and I just start over again several times. There is one type of stabilizer that is self-adhesive for the wash away type. And then there is the heat away stabilizer. In order to remove this, you warm up your iron, a hot iron, and you place it directly onto the heat away stabilizer, and it just instantly curdles up into little balls that you just simply brush away. UncommonThread.com carries the entire line of Sulky products, and they do have all 19 different types of Sulky stabilizers. And every day you get 15% off retail for all the products at UncommonThread.com. Now we'll talk a little bit about the stabilizers that can be used as toppers. Two of the most common stabilizers that are used as toppers are the wash away, and specifically the solvy or the super solvy, and in instances where you can't get your fabric wet, you can use heat away. Now, if you can't get your fabric wet and it won't tolerate a hot iron, you can use the tearaway stabilizer to do that. You just have to be a little precautious because if you could leave some excess stabilizer behind if you're not careful in what you're doing. So a frequently asked question that is always asked is, I'm just starting out in embroidery. What are some of the basic types of stabilizers I need to have on hand? And that really depends on the individual. But I'll just give you a little bit of advice, and then you can take it from there and decide which types of stabilizers are best for you. I think you could have either a cutaway plus stabilizer and or the Sulky soft and sheer stabilizer in your stash. I also find that Sulky Tear Easy stabilizer is another great stabilizer to have, as well as the Super Solvy stabilizer. Sulky has a fantastic book. It's called Sew, Craft, Quilt, and Embroider Confidently with Sulky Stabilizers. I highly recommend this book, and the reason I do is because it is set up kind of like a cookbook, and there are recipes in there telling you exactly which stabilizers you need when working with certain fabrics. Now, I want to point out that the title of the book, Sew, Craft, Quilt, and Embroider Confidently, indicates that there are many other ideas and instructions for other types of projects. So again, it's not just for machine embroidery. Another valuable resource that I like to refer to is the book called Secrets to Successful Stabilizing. Now this is the older book. The book I just mentioned is the newer book, but this one still has a lot of very good information to it, and they did update it at one point with an updated supplement to Sulky's Secrets to Successful Stabilizing. Now, the way these books are sold is you can either buy it individually for only the Sulky Secrets to Successful Stabilizing. You cannot buy an updated supplement to Sulky Secrets to Successful Stabilizing all by itself, but you can buy the two books as a package. So I just wanted to point that out to you. When working with fabrics and textiles, you need to consider a lot of different situations in order to choose the right stabilizer for what you're doing. And that's kind of like why I say refer to these books. They are packed with a lot of information, but you have to consider what type of technique you're doing, what kind of results are you trying to achieve, what problems are you trying to avoid. It depends on what kind of fabric you're using. Is the fabric or technique the right fit for what you want to do? So you might have to make some changes. Sometimes your fabric, your design, and your stabilizer just aren't the right match, and you have to switch something up. And if your fabric and your design are not the right match, no type of stabilizer is going to resolve your problem. You're going to have to change something else. Do you mind if stabilizers left behind? How delicate is your fabric? Can it get wet? Can it tolerate a hot iron? Does it matter if the fabric of the hand is changed if you apply stabilizer to the back of it? In that case, do you mind if the fabric will feel a little bit more stable? Is the fabric going to be next to your skin? All of these are important considerations when working with these stabilizers, and Sulky has a solution for every type of question I mentioned. What is the purpose of your project? Who's going to use it? What kind of wear and tear will it sustain? These are all important considerations. And then decide what kind of changes that you can make in order to stabilize your project successfully, or your arts and crafts project, and have success with that. And again, I can't emphasize the book enough. If you're doing machine embroidery, you want to watch the test design stitch out first and decide what needs to be changed and where you may be able to apply more stabilizer. So again, uncommonthread.com carries the entire line of Sulky products at 15% off retail every single day. My name is Michelle Umloff, and you can visit me at www.sewsimplified.com. If you become one of my sewing friends, you will receive the Not Your Grandma's Bowl class for free. I do offer online sewing classes, and there's a couple other pictures of some classes that I have available. And I have a podcast, Sew Simplified Podcast. And find me on Facebook at Sew Simplified. Uncommon Thread, you can reach us at www.uncommonthread.com, or send us an email if you have questions at uncommonthread@comporium.net. There are our phone numbers if you want to reach us, and find us on Facebook. You'll find us at uncommonthread.com. Well, thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it and learned a little something about stabilizers in general, and we hope that you will continue to watch all of our other educational videos.